Greetings. Today I would like to talk about three things. Three things I believe are more important to success and self-realization than ambition, leadership qualities, great ideas, possibly even education. Most important thing, I think. And these three things are self-esteem, self-talk, and perspective. Interesting subjects. So let's talk self-esteem. What is self-esteem? It's basically what we feel we're worth, what our self-worth, what we believe that we are actually worth, how good we are. So what influences self-esteem? How do we actually build our self-esteem? Well, to a large degree, it's what we think people believe our capabilities or think of us. Second is probably what we see people think of us or how they demonstrably respond to us. And the third is our own self-talk and how good we think we are at doing things ourselves. So we look at other people, what we do, and we like to evaluate it against the perfect or whatever, and what people's opinions are. And 9 times out of 10, we respond to their opinions, not to an absolute of how good that was. Okay, so that brings us into a question of absolute, which we'll discuss in more detail later, but there's no such thing as an absolute. Your opinion of your actions or anyone else's actions is not an absolute opinion. Their opinion of yours isn't. Most times it lies somewhere in between. Sometimes it doesn't even lie in between. It lies way outside. But these are what influence your self-esteem. We hear what other people say, and we respond. If they praise us, ooh, goody, then we get like a big head. I'm so cool, aren't we? And that's also the one thing. It can move you towards narcissism. But most times, even one word can be taken as gross criticism. Yeah, it was nice. Oh my God, they don't like it. I'm going to die. It's the end of my life. I can't do anything. I can't do anything right. And we start building on these scars and these calluses of people's opinions, and we no longer start evaluating whether the opinion counted or not, whether it was warranted, or we don't even remember the opinion. We just remember in our mind, no, we were not good. We didn't perform. We let people down. We let ourselves down. And we start building up these resistance. And we can respond 2 ways, can't we? We either, it's fight or flight. We come out fighting. What do you fucking mean? You don't know anything anyway. We take terror into whoever it is. Or we recede, fold up into a corner and die. And neither actions are right. And the only way to work out is to get a balanced perspective of your own self-esteem and to build your self-esteem. So can you build your self-esteem? Yeah, of course you can build your self-esteem. How? Well, the first thing is you've got to know where you fit. You've got to try and work out the absolute, or as close to an absolute as you can. And that comes from looking at situations. Looking at the situation, not what people said about the situation or what you said. Looking at what you did, okay, on various occasions. And work out, were your actions right, wrong? Were they scared? Were they honorable? Were they motivated by fear? Were they bravery? What motivated them? And try and work out so you can start working out a pattern. In those similar situations, do you react the same? And are you getting defensive because of a similar situation before? And you're scared of rejection. You're scared of someone putting you down. You're scared of not being liked. These are the actions that build our self-esteem or scar it. So it makes sense to build it, which means don't think everyone else is right. Most people, when they say something nasty about someone else, it's because they've got an axe to grind. I don't walk down the street and see a street sweeper and say, wow, man, well, he hasn't got much of a wardrobe, has he? It's irrelevant to me, it's just bitchy. And this is the thing, most people react negatively if they're jealous, envious, some kind of negative emotion. A person naturally wants to celebrate with and build your self-esteem. And those are the people we need in our lives, which I'll talk about friendship later. But those are the guys that we need to speak to and suck on their energy. But we tend to have 10 people saying something good about what we've done and one person saying something bad, and the only one we remember is the one bad. And we magnify that and we start using that to create our perception of self. We start thinking we're a loser and we become a victim of ourselves. We start thinking, oh, woe is me. Why am I like this? Why can't I do anything? And that brings us to the next point, is self-talk. Nothing is as destructive in our lives as our own self-talk. Oh my God, I'm so stupid. Shit, I'm always forgetful. Well, what can I do? I'm just like that. All of these things that are negative affirmations of ourselves. And we tell them over and over, and whether we like it or not, we start believing it. So when we act like a durs, we just living, we're affirming what our affirmation is. Yes, well, this is it. I am a durs, so I act like a durs. That's natural. Come on, man. That makes sense, doesn't it? So how do we do that? If someone spoke to you like you spoke to yourself, would that person be a friend? Simple. No, they won't. If you say yes, you're masochist, which I'll leave my telephone number, bring your own whips, and we'll move on to that conversation at a later time. But anyway, getting back to reality. If you start taking ownership of these things and of people's opinions, and you speak to yourself negative, even in joke, in jest, it's still ringing in, and it's still saying when you do act like it, God, what can I say? Instead of saying, that's not who I am, that's not what I'm about. That is just negative, putting me in the wrong direction. I'm not forgetful, I do forget. How do I do that? Work out where I put shit. So the next time I go, I know where to find it. And then I'm speaking to myself, do you think I can ever get that right? My God, I lose my keys in my glasses. But anyway. So change your self-talk and build your self-esteem, which means the last thing is perspective. There is no such thing as an absolute perspective. Someone murders someone is driving down the road, hijacker comes, hold up, boom, stick up, the guy pulls out a gun, shoots the hijacker dead. For the guy shooting him, the hijacker, it's justified. He was attacked, he's protecting himself and his family, For the hijacker, well, he's dead, who cares? But for his family, he was the breadwinner, and he didn't have a job for 2 years, and he didn't have food. And COVID came along, and his family are starving. And in desperation, he had to do something. There are two different perspectives. Which is truth? Both truth. They're both justified to feel the way they are. But the idea is, what is the perspective of a solution that should be evolved from the truths? And this is what we do. We're going to go and speak to someone. Oh, that person doesn't like me. You walk up, you know they don't like you. Maybe they don't. So you walk up, hi, how you doing? They say, I'm okay. Why is a cold bitch? What they do? Why are they so like this? What have I done to you? We break this whole thing in our head, and the next time the guy asks for salt at the table, and you tear his head off. And this is what we do all the time. Don't influence your behavior on perspectives. Take the perspective out of it, have a look at both perspectives, and realize the objective is not right or wrong. It's resolution. It's how do I move forward? The same as this country, or the history of South Africa, all of the heartbreak and all of the horror that has permeated this continent for the last 50,000 years, quite honestly. Yes, we're aware of it, and please God, we learn. And now people aren't learning history. It's frightening because they forget. But anyway, moving on. Taking all those lessons and what caused the friction, what caused the hate, and work out the resolution, building up our own self-esteem of our people. How do we feel about ourselves? Are we a proud nation? Are we split into different cultures, communities, religions, but a nation? We are united. Or is that what we dream to become? And are we proud of that? What is our self-talk? How do we talk to ourselves all the time? racist corruption, people, black race, boom, bam, bam, bam. Jesus, my God, we destroy ourselves. And then perspectives are selfish, justified but selfish, but not conducive to moving forward. Change our personal self-esteem for our own personal growth. Change self-talk to only be positive and rather err on the side of blowing smoke up your own ass rather than putting yourself down. And take a perspective geared or focused on a future. I'm out.